Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning. I've not been described as a statesman of pop, but I like it.
By the way, you dress quite statesman-like tonight. Today,
that one out.
you look amazing, as fresh as the daisy. Like you haven't aged a single minute, let alone a few decades. Reading your book yesterday, day before, and this morning again, I literally couldn't put it down. Honestly, it's such a fantastic book. I didn't realise, and obviously I was in the thick of it at the time. I didn't realise Wham were only around for 4 years. That's the thing that first struck me.
Yeah, I mean, 4.5 from signing, 3 really from first release. Well, first hit.
Yeah.
First release wasn't a hit by any stretch of the imagination.
3 years. I had no idea.
Well, 3 years, 6 months.
It was so brief. Yeah. So you met to get in the mid-70s. Just tell us about the first time you ever clapped eyes on each other, you and George.
He was the new boy, Form 2A1, which means comprehensive 1970 new term, walked in by the teacher, looking a bit sheepish as you would, the new boy, and she cast around for someone who'd act as mentor, take him under their wing, and I'd never been given the charge of a new boy before, and I thought, I want this. This could be fun. So put my hand up, and he was delivered to me.
Imagine if you hadn't. Oh my God, we wouldn't have Club Tropicana, we wouldn't have Young Guns, we wouldn't have the final, and it was your decision to form a band, and you didn't ask him, you told him, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it'd been something that'd been discussed for a couple of years since we were 14 or adolescents, and it was always after the O-levels, after the A-levels, but came a day when I had to make some decisions. I left school to go to college because I wasn't attending, and at that point I thought, right, this is the day, and I phoned him up and said, look, we're forming a band. I wasn't giving him a choice. I wasn't asking him. I was.
And there was like 6 of you at the beginning, wasn't there?
There were 5 of us. The executive.
The executive. That's what it was.
5 of us.
It's 5 of you. Okay.
The original line.
All right. So
it had many forms.
Right. And how did it get to Wham from there?
Well,
by the way, cool name, the executive. I really like that.
Yeah, we thought it was pretty good, pretty slick. Well, we had various incarnations, and unfortunately, things fell apart somewhat. We had a gig. We reduced down to 4, and it was kind of a definitive lineup. And we had a big gig that we were working towards. Big for us, Harrow Tech. It's not exactly a big gig, but
it's a gig.
Yeah, it was a gig.
There's a stage, and you're going to play it.
And it was a gig built on sand. It never actually. One of our band members had been stringing us along. I don't know why, but so at that point, he left. My brother left, and that left George and I, and we just continued writing.
Where did the name Wham come from?
Lifted it from the song. It was a temporary name.
Right,
but
not bad.
Yeah. But the longer it was around, the more we thought, that's actually.
And you used to lend it. So when you did something, it was a Wham something, wasn't it? So the Wham America tour was Wham America, and it was Wham this and Wham that, wasn't it? It was quite handy for that.
It was Wham-tastic.
It really was. So how did you get? I mean, around at the time, it was pretty tough at the time because you just post-punk, some great bands around anyway, and there's you and George, a duo. How did you do it?
Well, post-punk, I mean, it was an enormously rich era for creativity and musical creativity.
And the world was going crazy at the time, wasn't it? Because you had the Cold War and the miners' strikes.
Yeah, it was a time of real change. And there was an awful lot going on politically. Britain was coming out of a dark period, and it was all change. And we were young, we had a great optimism, and we were looking forward. And punk democratized music. If you could play 3 chords, you could be in a band.
Yeah.
And the home recording, the Fostex, the 4-track recorders, it brought music to anyone who had a creative idea, and that's really what enabled us to be a band, even though we weren't a band as such.
I mean, your journey's, and it's so brief, and you pack so much in, and you could have gone on for longer. And I know that you wanted to, and George didn't particularly. But you have a worldwide hit, the Make It Big album. I mean, what a title! There you go. There's your mission statement. It's on the cover. Let's do what it says on the tin. And then so tough for still now for British bands to crack North America, and you did that as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big ambition once we'd established ourselves over here.
I mean, you didn't mess about, did you? You got on with it.
Yeah, we had some, we had the ammo.
You had the songs.
We had the songs,
Yeah.
we had a fantastic songwriter singer, so it made it a bit easier. But it was important for us to make make Wham the biggest band we could. And so Breaking the States was had to be, had to happen.
Now, not many bands get the chance to tour China after touring North America, to tour China so they don't have to tour North America for a second time coast to coast. But Wham had that.
The Chris Evans Breakfast Show with Sky.